In today's video, we're gonna create this SaaS style animation in After Effects. So let's get started. Alright, let's go ahead and import these two assets inside the new project panel. And I'm gonna create a new composition. Rename this main comp, Full HD, 30 frames per second, and hit OK. And I'm gonna create a new solid for the background. Rename this BG for background, hit OK. Go to the effects and presets and search for gradient, full color gradient. Drag and drop this, and I'm gonna change this yellow color to complete white, and this blue color, which is this, to white. Okay, and I'm gonna change this green color to something like light blue, and I'm gonna change this pink and pick whip this color to this. All right, so we have that background, and I'm gonna duplicate this background, delete the full color gradient, rename this to grid, and go to the effects and presets and type in grid. Drag and drop this grid here, and you can just adjust the grid so that we have a bigger grids here. That should be fine. And the borders are very thick. Let me just dial it down to 3. Alright, so let's go ahead and create a shape using the rounded rectangle tool. Turn on this title action safe, shift and draw a box. Control and double click on this pen behind tool to center this to the middle. And let's go inside this rectangle and set this roundness to 100. Rename this main mask. I'm going to duplicate this main mask and rename this profile mask. And I'm going to drag and drop this picture inside this, and center it there, and you can just scale it down so that it fits perfectly inside this circle, that shape. And I'm gonna pick whip this track matte to the profile mask so that we have some masking there. All right, let's just draw the other bottom half here. So we're gonna duplicate this main mask, duplicate this, move it above the image layer, and I'm gonna rename this bottom shape. All right, so let's just go inside these contents, and we have a rectangle, which is this. We're gonna draw another rectangle here. So selecting on the contents, very important, just select on the contents, and I'm gonna select this rounded rectangle tool. I'm gonna draw a box here, so something like that, and go to add and merge path. You can see that the merge path is inside this rectangle too, which I don't like it. I'm gonna undo this, and I am going to select these contents and do the merge path, and go and collapse this and set this to intersect so that it masks out that layer, right? And we're gonna switch this to an adjustment layer. Go to the effects and presets and apply Gaussian blur legacy. Drag and drop it, and I'm gonna crank this up to 150 or 120, depending on the taste that you're looking for, right? So that is it, and let's just go ahead and create a text. Motion designer, right? So by the way, I'm using this SF Pro font, and let's just move it here, and maybe I will just crank this up to 35 and make this pure white. All right, so that's really nice there. And grab the rounded rectangle tool without selecting any layers, and let's just draw a box like this for the subscribe button. And maybe I'm gonna move this a little bit to the left, and like always, just control and double click on this pen behind tool to center the anchor point to the center of the shape, right? Let's just rename this sub shape, okay, for the subscribe shape layer. So I'm gonna go and collapse this rectangle, and I think I'm gonna increase the roundness so that we have a perfect round. All right, so something like that. And what I'm gonna do is duplicate the text layer that we have earlier. Control D to duplicate it, move it just above the sub shape, move it here, and change the text to subscribe and move it down here. And I'm gonna select both the shape and the text here. Go to align, make sure you're at the selection, and select this, align it horizontally and vertically. That will center it perfectly to the center of the shape. Okay, so far so good. Let's just go and animate the text and the subscribe button. Before that, I will just move this thing down a touch, something like that, and reposition it a little bit so that it looks nicer. All right, that's looking great. Okay, so let's go to the profile mask, collapse the contents, rectangle, and path, rectangle path. Hold down shift and page down 1 2 3 4 times. I'm going to set a keyframe for the size and the roundness. I'm going to go back to the first frame and set the roundness until you have a perfect circle, which is right about here. And I'm going to size it down to 0, and I'm going to turn off the main mask here. Select all the keyframes, F9 for easy ease. Make the graph like this. If you don't have the graph like mine, you can just click here and make sure you're at speed graph, edit speed graph. Okay, so if I play back now, that's really nice, but I want some fluid motion to the scale. We're gonna add some scale animation to the image. Hit S, and I'm gonna set a keyframe to the exact same timing scale. We go back, and maybe I'm gonna scale it up to at the first frame. F9 for easy ease. Make the graph something like this. Alright, so now you have a very good animation there. Okay, so right about here, I want the bottom shape to animate from the bottom here, right? So maybe somewhere around here. I'm gonna set a position, go back, shift and page up 1 2 3 4, and I'm gonna move it down here. Select all the keyframes, F9 and easy ease, and we can always retime the animation. So let's just see what we have. I think that's a little early, so I'm gonna move it backwards. Select both the keyframes back once you have there. All right, that's nice. And I will animate the text now. Let's just go and add a position, and I'm gonna animate this text from the bottom. So I will increase the Y values here of the position. Go to range selector, go to advanced, and I'm gonna change these characters to words and shape to ramp up, and we're gonna animate the offset of this from here, right? So let's just scrub to the timeline and find a right spot, maybe somewhere around here. I want to start the animation of the text. Set a keyframe for the offset to a -100, and shift and page down 1 2 3 4 times. Go to 100% to the offset. For the offset, select all the keyframes, F9 for easy ease, and we're gonna make this like this. And all right, so that's looking great. Let's go to ease low and set this to 100. All right, that is looking nice. Let's just go and animate the subscribe button. I'm going inside this rectangle, and right after that, I want the subscribe button to size up. Okay, so let's uncheck this constraint proportion. Set a keyframe and position. Shift page down 1 2 3 4 times. I'm going to set another keyframe. Go to this first keyframe. I'm going to scale this to 0 and shift the position slightly below. Select all the keyframes, F9 for easy ease. Go to the graph and change the graph like that. I think that's a little late, so I want just start here. All right, so we're gonna copy the animation properties of the previous text and paste it on the subscribe text, right? So select this animator, add it, copy, or Control-C to copy, and we're gonna paste it to subscribe. So one thing to keep in mind that wherever you put this playhead is where you were starting the animation when you paste it, right? So once you're here, and I want to start from here, so I'm gonna hit paste, Control V to paste it. So one thing I want to change is go inside the subscribe, go to animator 1. I'm gonna change this position from 0 to the X position to 50. I want to start from this side. So yeah, and one more thing I want to change is go to advanced, change from words to characters so that you have characters sliding in. And I also added the blur, which is at 50, so it blurs in like that, so it's really looking nice, right? So, and one more thing we're gonna do is we're gonna mask out this text inside this box. So I'm gonna duplicate this shape too and rename this shape mask, and go and parent this track mat to the mask layer so that it is just inside that subscribe button, right? So that is really looking nice. All right, so we also have to mask out this text. We're gonna duplicate this main mask and rename this text mask, and select the text layer and parent it to the text mask, I mean for the track mat. Okay, so yep, that is nice. And let's go ahead and animate the camera. Before creating the camera, let's just drag in this cursor and let's just select this pen behind tool, Control, and just drag this to the corner. It will snap it here. Hit S and scale it down to 15% or so. Let's just move it here. I think we're gonna hit somewhere here, right? So make this a 3D layer as well. Yep. And yeah, we're good to go for the camera. Let's just make this, turn the motion blur for this as well. And I'm going to create a new null object, and I'm going to rename this to cam. Okay, select all the layers and parent it to the null object. Make this a 3D layer as well. Hit P on the keyboard, go to the first frame, shift page down 1, 2, 3, 4 times, set a keyframe for the position here. I'm going to go back to the first, and I'm going to zoom it in using the Z position values, and it will come up like this, right? Select all the keyframes, F9, and set it curves like this. Okay, it looks really nice now. Just rename this cursor. So hit P, Shift and R, and just after the subscribe button is here, I want this to reach here, right? So set a position at this point and orientation as well. And we're gonna go backwards in time, you know, just go back maybe here. At this point I want to cursor to be somewhere around here, and I'm going to change the rotation to 55 degrees or so, and it's going to come up like this. All right, so select all the keyframes, F9, so it's going to come up like this. Okay, come up like this, and it's going to hit the button, Shift and S to bring up the scale, set a keyframe for the scale, and Shift and page down once. I'm going to set the scale to 10, and Shift and page down 1 again. Control C and Control V to paste it. So you can see that it's scaling down. So F9 for easy ease. It's going to come up here. All right. So once it hits there, it will start the animation again, which is going back. Copy the position and rotation again, and from here shift 1, 2, 3, 4 and paste it, right? So if you come up here, all right, that's really nice. So it's coming, clicking and going back, right? And at the same time you have to add the change the subscribe text. So let's just go and see. Right after it hits there, the text has to change itself to subscribed, right? So right at this point, select this and split the layer, Control Shift and D, and I'm gonna change this to subscribe, right? And you can just align it to the center, and also the shape, which is this one, Control Shift and D, and I have to change the color of the shape to, you know, something like dark black. Okay, and maybe lower the opacity to 50. Maybe I want to decrease the opacity more to 30. And okay, all right, so we have to scale the subscribe button as well. So let's just go and select the subscribed, hit S to bring up the scale, set a keyframe, go to this point here. I'll scale it down to 90. I think before doing that, I have to move the anchor point to the center here for both the layers. So here, and so here to the second one, hit S, scale it down from 90 to here and 100. Okay, select all the keyframes, F9, and if you play it back now, you can see that I think I have to also scale the shape, which is this one. Hit S on the keyboard, set a keyframe for the scale, and go to 90 here. And the second one, which is starting from 90, and go back here to 100. And select all the keyframes, F9 for easy ease, and you have a very smooth animation there, right? So let's just continue with the camera animation up from here, since we have the cursor animation. So let's just go from here, and the cursor comes and it clicks away. So I want to zoom in the click here. So let's just see the timing. Right at this point, I want to zoom in, right? So I want to zoom in here and reframe the composition here, somewhere around here, maybe here, and maybe even zoom it in. You know, that fully depends on your taste. So it comes up here and clicks. Right, so let's just go inside this graph. Let's just re-edit this graph. I'm gonna select all these points, go and click this easy ease, and I'm gonna modify this to something like this. Right, so let's just play it back. It comes up here. Let's just make it big. You can see that you have a very smooth animation like that. Okay, so you can see that right after it reach here, it suddenly stops, which I really don't like. For a fluid motion, you just need to have some more, you know, subtle movement just after this keyframe, right? So to do that, I'm gonna create another null object and make it a 3D, and I'm gonna start right before this keyframe so that we have a smooth animation. Trim that, hold down Alt and the left square bracket. I'm gonna parent the null object to the new null that we have created. Hit P, set a keyframe and move forward a little bit. And I want to move even further, you know, zoom it in a little bit like that. Select all the keyframes, F9, and if you play it back, so if you go there, right after it reach here, it will still go, you know, further. So I can just extend this. Maybe I want to zoom it out a little bit here so that we have some room for the second zoom. All right, that's looking really nice. And right after there, I will create another new null object, and I want to create this, make this a 3D as well. I'm going to trim this here, and I'm going to parent the previous null to the new null. and we're going to transition it now, right? So select this position and set it here, set a keyframe here, go back, go few frames ahead, hold down shift and page down 1-2 times, and I'm gonna make this slide this way. Select all the keyframes, F9, go to the graph, and change the graph like this, so that we have continuous movement right after here. So it will transition this to the next scene. All right, and if you want me to create part 2 of this, you can just comment down below, and the project file for this will also be available on my Patreon. Be sure to check that out as well. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Motion Designer, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.